According to various media outlets, Cara Dune is going to be recast for future Star Wars projects. Or wait, breaking news. The Cara Dune character will not return. Or wait a minute. This other source says... What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. I'm going to be talking about this stuff going on with Gina Carano and the Cara Dune character, but really quick. And don't forget to take advantage of that 60% off discount on 12-week superhero. Look, because of our move and having to get set up here in Padia, the program is delayed, but I'm trying to get everything written this weekend and then getting phase one's workout videos filmed shortly after. Look, once I get phase one posted and published, the 60% discount will expire. So you basically got 1 week. Hey, the link is down in the comments if you want to get in on this at-home minimalist program to get you fit like a superhero. But okay, this Gina Carano drama appears to be the only thing in the news when it comes to Star Wars right now. So I'm giving you guys an update, and I want to give you guys my opinion on this whole thing, especially after seeing the comments from my last video about Gina Carano getting fired by Lucasfilm. So you can call it the chickens coming home to roost, or you can call it what some of the Fandom Menace kids are saying is an example of toxic culture at Disney. But we're now learning that Gina Carano learned about her firing through social media, just like everyone else. Now, like I said, the group of people who constantly cry about everything when it comes to Star Wars are pointing to Lucasfilm and Disney as being toxic while completely ignoring the rest of the stories. I mean, can these Fandom Menace people accurately report a story without twisting it and then putting their spin on it, especially their politics? It's like they're copying Fox News or something. What we also learned is during that whole beep bop boop incident, Gina Carano was given an official statement to post to her social media. She chose not to post it, and I think that pretty much laid the groundwork for what eventually happened. Remember, in my last video when I said that I had coworkers circulating a petition about me to get me fired from my job with the state of Tennessee? Well, I had to go up for an investigation and everything. I had to sign statements saying that I would not talk about it around the office or seek to retaliate against any of my coworkers. I couldn't even post it to my own personal social media. And if I did any of those things, I would be terminated and possibly prosecuted. So I mean, like, I was the victim in the situation. Every single person who was involved in me being under investigation had a reason to physically fear me if I did want to retaliate. But I was the one who was getting bullied, and I was the one who couldn't talk about what happened, even though all of my supervisors stood up for me. And I don't think I mentioned that I was one of the top performers on my shift that month, and not by a little bit. I mean, like, my numbers blew the back out of what everyone else was doing that month. So, look, I understand when the company says, hey, do this. If you don't do it, there will be consequences. And it doesn't matter if you're the star performer or, just somebody who shows up and does the minimal amount necessary. But look, that's what none of the people understand who are trying to defend Gina Carano's actions. Gina acted an ass on Twitter, and when the big wigs told her to check herself, she just kept going and doing her own thing. Look, a few weeks ago, do you know what the narrative was in Star Wars? Because I do. I remember. Look, I kept seeing all of these articles about how more attention was on Gina Carano and all of the stuff she was doing than on the High Republic. Gina Carano isn't the star of The Mandalorian, and contrary to what John Campea said at the start of season 2 of The Mandalorian, it doesn't sound like Cara Dune and Bo-Katan Kryze were getting their own spin-off show. Remember last year this time when Bob Iger announced that season 2 was going to be setting off all of these spin-offs that we now know about? I mean, I remember that, and I remember saying that I didn't think Gina Carano could carry her own show. Look, check my history if you think I'm lying about that. Something else that Bob Iger said is that they are considering doing spin-off shows for some of the more popular characters on The Mandalorian. I've got mixed feelings about this. Like I said, I have mixed feelings as far as characters having spin-off shows. Like right now, I don't feel like they've presented any character and made them strong enough where they can have a spin-off show. I mean, Cara Dune is a supporting character. So if you want to see Gina Carano, you're going to have to go see her in whatever project she's doing with Ben Shapiro. I think she said something like, they can't cancel us if we don't let them. Look, that was a statement that she made about her cancellation by a so-called totalitarian mob after it was announced that she'd be teaming up with Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire to develop and produce her own film. Now, I mean, I am genuinely interested in what they make because, I mean, we're talking about Ben Shapiro. Conservative, annoying ass, even other Jews probably don't like me, Ben Shapiro. Look, on the cereal box aisle, Ben Shapiro is the store brand box of cornflakes with skim milk. I mean, like, no wonder his wife has that dry
ass P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
But anyway, Ben Shapiro, who cried about Ray. Ben Shapiro's balls would probably shrivel up at the thought of a strong female character, like the characters that Gina Carano played before she went and messed up her career and got canceled by her agency. Her first movie, Blood and Bone, she's a street fighter who tries to spit game to Michael Jai White, who's the star of the movie. And I mean, didn't Gina Carano do Fast and the Furious before Ronda Rousey? I mean, didn't Gina Carano's character punk out Colossus in the first Deadpool movie? And isn't Colossus supposed to be the strongest of the X-Men? So, I mean, what's she gonna be doing in a Ben Shapiro production? Baking cakes and pies and teaching good family values? I mean, I'm sure whatever she does, it'll be a hit just from all those dorks who wish they'd storm the White House that are gonna support her movie and the rest of her career. I mean, it's just like they support the ignorant post that she shared where she attempted to compare her online bullying to Jews who were being rounded up in Nazi Germany. But I mean, hey, shout out to everyone in the comments saying that she's right. Unfortunately, you guys don't want a prize for also being wrong. Thanks for the history lesson, but you get an F for not knowing the cause of those events. I said that she did the same thing that Nick Cannon did, and she got the same result. Look, if you don't know, Nick Cannon co-signed on some nonsense from a former member of the rap group Public Enemy who got kicked out of the group for actually talking about the same dumbass conspiracy theories about Jewish banking families and Jewish banking cartels. Now, before all of you Wikipedia professors start getting itchy on your keyboards, I'm going to help you out. So I want you to start with the downfall of the Weimar Republic and the rising inflation in Germany after World War I. Who got the blame for all of that? Who was the scapegoat? Then I want you to turn your books a few decades back to the Second Reich, and you'll want to spend some time with Nietzsche and the idea of the Übermensch. Also during that time, you had the emergence of these great German theologians, and I want you to tell me the connections there and the rising anti-Semitic views that followed in the next century. Also, if you go back even further in your history books to the Middle Ages and look at the various pogroms against the Jews, and I want you to spend some time learning about the sin of usury and how Jews were basically forced into the banking industry in the first place. Also, I want you to go back a little bit even further to the Romans kicking the Jews out of Palestine following their big revolt. So, like I said, all this stuff about, oh man, you can't say anything about Jews. You can't say anything about them. Yes, you can. You really can. You just can't say ignorant stuff because, look, somebody's going to check you as it should be. And if you don't like it, I mean, just don't say ignorant shit about Jewish people. Like, you can just say nothing at all. Like Gina Carano, she should have done in the first place. And we wouldn't even be talking about this. And she'd still have a career in Hollywood and not doing independent films. But anyway, when the company gave her a statement and asked her to post an apology, she chose to buck the system. And I mean, guess what, Buttercup? The system bucked back. It's like I told an ex-girlfriend when we broke up. Look, sometimes you just need to learn when to shut the fuck up. You never know when someone is just waiting on you to write a check that you can't cash. I don't really expect too many folks to understand any of what I just said, though. I mean, I'm being honest. People only hear parts of a narrative that supports what they already believe to be true. Look, the people that are out there crying about cancer culture and woke culture were laughing when there were all these petitions circulating to fire Gina Carano. But now that Gina Carano has been fired, well, what did they turn and do? They started a petition to rehire Gina Carano, and they say they're going to buy up all of the Cara Dune toys just so they can make it a collector's item. And I mean, so, like, you're going to get back at Disney by giving them more of your money? Or let me guess, you're going to get back at Disney by canceling Disney Plus, right? Well, we'll see how that one goes when Boba Fett and The Mandalorian are back on Disney Plus. I bet the huge dent Gina Carano fans put in the number of subscribers to Disney Plus, which is currently around 95 million, sees a bump when some of those people re-up their subscriptions next year. And I imagine the folks who don't, they're going to find a way to watch the show. They won't be able to resist talking about it somewhere. And that's just going to contribute to more people watching because, look, that's how word of mouth advertising works. It's why the Fandom Menace is actually losing, unless their real mission is just to grift money from creating fake controversy, which is totally what they're doing. Right, Jeremy? I mean, I keep hearing that the goal is to get better Star Wars, but, I mean, who determines what is better Star Wars? Look, little girls love Rey. Black folks are pissed about Finn, but they care enough to say something about it, and the proof is in how Finn was trending on Twitter just a few days ago. Baby Yoda made everyone tune into The Mandalorian, and well, Luke Skywalker's recent cameo proved that a whole lot of people really do love Star Wars, but only if it stays stuck in the post-Return of the Jedi era and becomes some 80s nostalgia thing to make them feel good because, well, they can't accept the present. And I mean, maybe you're nodding your head because that's exactly what you want. And I'd say that you probably don't understand Star Wars if that's the case. And I mean, really, it's okay. It really is. You can join Star Wars Theory in that camp because, look, he doesn't understand Star Wars either.
There are a lot of things that I don't understand.
Look, yesterday someone was trying to get smart with me on my Facebook page about the concept of chi, despite them demonstrating that they don't know enough to even start to engage me in that conversation. But look, in chi theory, you have this idea of stagnation. Your chi gets stuck, and that leads to sickness. Now, what the average person thinks is that chi is some type of mystical field energy or life force or some other BS concept that chi is not. But, I mean, that is what the Force basically is in Star Wars. So what happens when you have stagnation, when things get stuck, when things don't change? Well, you start to have problems. Just like how people have problems with the direction of Star Wars or the decisions that they think are being made at Lucasfilm or the firing of Gina Carano. We got a bunch of people watching these stories about how bad things happen when you get stuck, and you try to bend everything to your will or your personal perception of things instead of seeing things the way they are and going with the flow. And I hope that makes sense, but I mean, doing this is like being a pastor, which I was in the process of becoming when I started all of this. But look, it's like you give this message from the pulpit, but it's like half the people are smiling and nodding their heads to basically anything I say. Half of it's falling on deaf ears. And in the choir, well, the choir, y'all have heard it all before. You know the deal, but look, ain't nobody listening to y'all because folks only want you to sing and dance and then shut the hell up. So, look, that's my slice of reality when it comes to Star Wars. You take what you want from it or take nothing. It's really up to you. That's really all I'm going to say. Acolyte, out.